Hi everyone, welcome to a Chandler's channel. I'm Tracy and I'm your host, and today's session is our weekly reading for April 29th to May 5th. So those last few days of April and those new days of May. So if that's why you're here, stay tuned. We'll get to that in a second. But as always, I like to touch on the previous week to see how it turned out for you. So until you start sharing and commenting, I will be the one who shares and comments about my week. So last week's reading was about reflection and getting into nature. So for me, by journaling and speaking with spirit, there is reflection, and a lot of my learning has come from the teachings of Whitehawk, so I understand how energy works from him, and I believe that's what he's here, one of the things that he's teaching us. So I think I'm often in a state of reflection, maybe too much, maybe sometimes not enough. He did say get out in nature. I did not get out in nature because I have my sexy sprained ankle still. You can see all that swelling there. Yuck, right? Yuck. So I wasn't able to get out, and in fact, it's actually kind of hard for me to drive with my foot like this. I'm going to have to go get some physio on it. So I have been resting as per the April monthly reading that he asked us to do, but I'll touch on that in the next video. So without further ado, I'll go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say about this upcoming week. Ooh. Indeed, he says, this upcoming week will be a one of major renovations, one of major upheavals, he says. I have come to you, he says, in the spirit of knowing that our week ahead of us will not be a great week, my children. I know that is hard for you to hear, but it's something I feel you need to know, and I feel that you can handle hearing. And so Whitehawk is speaking to us, addressing us all as we listen to him. So he's standing up, and the rest of us are sitting. And as I've said in previous readings, he is a very tall man. Yes. He says, this little one wants me to share with you that in times of sadness, in times of difficulty, in times that we find generally challenging, to not forget that the Lord is here with us. And in this reading, JC, whom I lovingly call him, Jesus arrives. And everyone's like, oh, wow. And there's little mutterings among us that we can't believe, that he's here. And then there's other people who are just staring in awe. He says, that's right, my children, he is here. He's always here. You need not to be special for him to be here. He is always here. He is our Father, he says. Of course he wants to look over his children, our children. And JC is just kind of standing off in the corner listening to Whitehawk's words. And everyone's still kind of staring, over at JC. And Whitehawk continues. And the mood is dark and the feeling is heavy around us all, and especially around Whitehawk, like, and my stomach feels like I feel nervousness in my stomach, and I feel worriedness. And Whitehawk says, indeed, there is a good reason for that, he says, my child, for indeed there is something that is coming, he says, that I cannot tell you of what it is, he says, but I can forewarn you. And then all of a sudden there's like so much sadness that I just feel from myself and those around us, and I feel like I'm going to throw up right now because I'm just so upset and so worried. And he says, yes, we are so upset and we are so worried as a nation currently, he says. But that is no need, he says. We will make it through. One step at a time, he says. Hand in hand, arm in arm. And I see us like all hooking arms. And silly enough, I mean, if you're a Laverne and Shirley fan, I hear the shemazel, you know, Hoss and Pep Incorporated, you know, and they go off in their little hop. We're gonna make it, na 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 na, you know. And Whitehawk, you know, pipes up and says, indeed, we will make it. We will make it as a nation. We will make it as a person. We will make it as a people. So do not despair, he says, when I give you these words here today, my children. Get up, walk, move around. We will make it. But I needed to come to you, and I needed to be the bearer of bad news to say, it will not be a great week. Having said that, he says, we will get through it. And I still see JC lurking in the corner, I think, just waiting for anybody to call upon him, to speak with him. And he shakes his head to me. Indeed. And I don't think it's that he doesn't want to talk, for I assure you, he has many words to speak when I speak with him. I think he's just letting you guys take the reins and talk to him instead of him coming to us and talking to us. He wants you guys to call upon him. And he shakes his head, yes. So God bless my children, he says, in the week ahead. It will be a difficult week, but it will be a good week. God bless. And that last little part came from Whitehawk, just so we're clear. Well, there you go. We had a guest, JC. I love JC. I love when he shows up. So it's going to be a difficult week, apparently. But one that we cannot get through without support. And I don't know the depth of it or the extent of it. Could be just you're going to have a yucky week at work and can't wait for the weekend to arrive. Or it could be something more. But I don't know until you comment and share. So please do. Subscribe so you know when my videos are up. Comment. What do I always say? Oh, my brain's mush. Keep it clean and be kind. Like and share. And we'll see you back here next week. And the next video that's up and coming is the video of our monthly message for May. God bless. I'm Tracy for a Chandler's Channel.